We are going to look at how Xavi has set up Barcelona this season. Xavi's brought in a number of really, really talented individuals. He's broken every single budget in Europe, but can field the front three of Ousmane Dembele, Lewandowski and Raphinha. And that makes Barcelona a very, very fun team to watch. Barcelona as well tactically have a lot of variations in terms of how their 4-3-3 looks with different players. Barcelona, quite frankly, have a first choice 11, a second choice 11 that is very, very good with little tweaks that can change the setup. And I think that's why Xavi's Barcelona could really start to open things up. I think first and foremost, the 4-3-3 that Xavi plays, the key principles in this team is you have the wingers that play super wide in the final third, Raphinha, Ousmane Dembele at times, but we see Fati, we see Ferran Torres come into those positions as well. A solid base in midfield, a holding midfielder, two fullbacks that play slightly inverted but also can operate as part of a back three if Xavi wants the left midfielder to tuck in and De Jong to be part of the build-up. But there's a lot of fluidity in terms of how this Barcelona team play. What I like, similar to Guardiola's Man City, when you change a player, it changes the outlook of the attacking structure, and it allows them to play different ways against different opponents. From a defensive perspective, they very much dropped back into a 4-4-2, be it whichever side they're pressing. If they're pressing on the right-hand side of the pitch, De Jong will be aggressive with Lewandowski, or alternatively, if it's going down, the right side of the pitch, alternatively, is down the left side of the pitch. Pedri will be playing high. Of course, we've seen Xavi in central midfield as well, and I really like Xavi's work rate and attitude. He's tenacious off the ball and carries well and provides that kind of aggression that Barcelona lack at times. But of course, the possession stuff is where we kind of want to talk about this Barcelona team. Lewandowski has come in and been absolutely ridiculous, but Xavi's created a situation that allows him to thrive from an attacking sense. The width in the final third, the underlaps from midfield, and that's starting to become a real key trend for Barcelona, is getting these underlaps, that making those inside runs from the fullbacks. Raphinha's obviously come from a Bielsa team, Leeds United, and he knows that those moves are a real threat. And we see a number of goals in recent games where Raphinha's slid in a central midfielder for the underlap that's actually cut the ball back to the other centre mid to score, and that makes Barcelona very difficult to play against, the fluidity they've got. Taking the Cadiz game as an example, Barcelona 4-3-3, Frankie de Jong, Xavi, Busquets midfield, Bellerin, Arejo, Piqué, Balde with the front three of Torres, Memphis Depay and Raphinha. So again, not starting Lewandowski, starting with a false 9 in Memphis Depay. Looking from a system perspective, we can clearly see the 4-3-3 defined. This average positions is a thing of beauty. We can see the clear structure, 4 at the back, 1 defensive midfielder, and then 4 behind, 1 centre forward. But the big thing with Barcelona under Xavi is the width that holds the depth of the team. We're looking at Raphinha, and in this game, we're looking at Ferran Torres. Raphinha has been a man in absolute flying form this season, averages over 6 shot creating actions per game, which is the most for Barcelona. He is making things happen. Not only the underlapping passes we mentioned before, but the sheer chance creation, cutting inside, looking for crosses to the back post, and so forth. As we mentioned, different personnel make Barcelona look like slightly a different team. In the game against Pilsen in the Champions League, we saw a slightly different shape. A back four, of course, Sergio Roberto being at right back and Frank Kessié midfield was the 2 key parts. Slightly different in terms of the build-up, where Sergio Roberto spent more time in the advanced areas than Kessié, and it kind of rocked back as a bit of a back three in build-up at times. Kessié kind of dropping deep, getting on the ball and playing forward, allowing Barcelona to create different shapes in build and making them very, very unpredictable. From a tactical level, just looking at that kind of that development in there, instead of Koundé playing at fullback, Frank Kessié into midfield, with, of course, Frankie de Jong at the base and Pedri high. It's a slightly different build-up. What it allows Barcelona to kind of do is Kessié drops in, and of course Sergio Roberto can play high in the inside channel, and it's kind of changing a little bit about how they build, in a sense. It's a little bit more 3 at the back diamond, and a player inside. Of course, against Pilsen, it was Fati, who was a lot closer to Lewandowski. So the build-up was a lot more controlled in a sense of a back three, kind of looking as a 3-3-4 at times. And I quite like the side that Xavi is building. From a statistical perspective, we're looking at the key players in there. Lewandowski has been in absolutely ridiculous form so far for Barcelona in the Champions League. Of course, a hat-trick in his first game. But as well, in La Liga, he's been in scintillating form. 5 games, 6 goals and 2 assists. There were question marks about Lewandowski this season, but who was questioning a player that has just scored back-to-back over 30 goals in the Bundesliga? I'm not too sure. But I think the thing that I like about his play at Barcelona is it's quite unselfish in a sense. Against Cadiz, a goal and 2 assists. Off the line, looking for his teammates. Had a really good assist to Ansu Fati, playing clean through and then sliding a kind of sideways pass instead of going for goal himself. He is an experienced player, and he's a player that will get the best out of the players around him. Not only is obviously Lewandowski impressed, we spoke about Raphinha so far, but Ousmane Dembele as well. I think Barcelona have probably got one of the best front threes in Europe right now after signing Raphinha and Lewandowski. And Ousmane Dembele is back to his best form, playing wide right at times, playing wide left at times. And I think that gives you a slightly, a real dynamic element to your attack. Dembele, of course, can come in and deputise on the left wing for someone like Raphinha. And what that allows Barcelona to play with is a real creator on that side that can go on the outside, get crosses into the box, but also can cut back onto that left foot and then look for the back stick. We saw that for Lewandowski's goal against Pilsen. And Dembele is playing the best football he's played for a long time. Makes him so difficult to play against in this match. Against Pilsen in the Champions League, 2 assists, 3 shots, completed 6 out of his 9 dribbles, created a whopping 6 chances. Ousmane Dembele is back, and it's very dangerous to see. And I think that fluidity of Barcelona, the possession play out of the back that we've come to understand, that is very much a Xavi thing. Positional play, pulling a team down one wing and then switching it fast to the other wing, gets the best out of players like Fati, like Ousmane Dembele. The width is there. Lewandowski is obviously the target through the middle. Could be one of the best teams in European football this season from an attacking perspective. They have, of course, not had the biggest test so far, but I feel like the games in the Champions League in the coming season will be a really good gauge to see where Xavi's at. I think the signings have been smart. Again, they've broken budgets, but you think in the squad that they've created, they basically got 6 really good attackers with Raphinha in that list with Lewandowski, Fati, Dembele, Torres and Depay. The midfield is obviously stacked in there as well. Another 6 midfielders that can play central midfield. I think that they've got more depth at centre-back. And Jules Koundé has been absolutely fantastic as a right-back, but also a centre-back. Against Sevilla, got himself 2 assists in the match against his former team. And played from right back, but as well moved in the second half to more of a left-sided centre-back position. Looked dominant, looked very good on the ball. Barcelona are looking very good under Xavi, and the system, the 4-3-3 they're playing, looks absolutely fantastic. And again, probably one of the most exciting teams in European football right now, just for the fact that they play with a lot of natural width. They play a lot of ball possession out from the back. They've got a good midfield unit. Pedri's a really nice footballer to watch. Kessié might add more goals in that central midfield position, and we could long-term see Frankie de Jong take over as Busquets' heir. So Barcelona, very good this season. Thanks for watching, guys. Get into the comments below. Who do you think Barcelona's most important player will be this season? I've been Statman Dave. Subscribe if you're new, and of course, check out SofaScore and the link in the description below. See you later.